So my bubby and brother are on holiday and they messaged me saying, Indy, what would be the song you would want to play at your funeral when you go? Okay.
Yeah, I've got the song. I've even thought about pre-recording a video that plays and then speaking.
Fucking Tony Stark over here. Yeah, okay.
I am Iron Man, right? I am Iron Man. And I did think about things I want to, leave messages and wisdom I want to leave to the world and special thank yous to special people and, shout out to the podcast.
If I don't make that fucking list, there's going to be... This entire YouTube channel is being deleted.
ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੇਤਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਆ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀ
What's happening, people? Welcome to this week's episode of the Indy and Doctor podcast. Karan, Gita, Sasikal. Hello.
How you doing?
Hi,
bro?
Putte.
How you
doing? I had a rough day. I ain't gonna
Let's just call it out. Let's get this out at the start of the podcast so people understand why and how you are and the frame of mind you come into it. But respect
I'm okay.
to the man.
I'm all right.
Respect to the man. Look, this is the point. This show must go on, right? And Indy and I have had times where we've not really wanted to do the podcast, not because we don't like podcasting, but there's other shit in life and on the plate.
Just shit on your mind, innit, bro? It is what it is.
You've got to turn up and you got to do what you got to do, and we got to remember why we do the podcast and the relief that we feel when we do the podcast. And this is your escapism for the next however long we do this.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah. So good. You're here. That's the main thing.
Thank you, Putte. I am here. Yes. Anyway, Karan, give me the introduction because I've got some breaking news for people, but I need you to introduce me first.
Confessions of Brown Monday.
And this Brown Munda would like to give the crown of the best Samoseh in the UK.
Wait. We need some drum roll for this shit, man. Bloody hell. Right.
Don't do it on the table.
Say that thing. Say that thing again.
Pass it on your legs. Pass it on your legs. Don't do it on the table.
Oh, don't do the table. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So say what you said again because it was really good. This Brown Munda. Say again. Go. 3, 2, 1.
This Brown Munda would like to give the honorary crown for the best Samoseh in the whole of the UK to Birmingham,
first place, UOB.
Thank
you. Yeah, very much.
Oh wow, Karan's bringing his TVS memories back there. It's
Birmingham, better than London. Pata hi hai. Hanji mitro. So,
welcome to the crew.
Context for this is you should listen to last episode because we discussed it. The strategy was cooked on this sofa here. Indy, tell them the context.
The strategy didn't work out. So last episode, people who remember, I had to go to Samoseh hunting, West Brom, second errand of the day. Went there, picked up some Samoseh, came back, had an adventure. If you want to hear about it, click on the last episode. You'll hear all about it at the start. Yeah. So Karan concocted this idea saying, don't tell your family in London you're taking it to them from Birmingham.
Sorry, he's going
to
tell them
you're getting it from London. And I thought that's a really good idea. Aside from the fact it took me nearly 4 hours to get there the day after I left you because there was a car crash on the M6. So I got stuck and I thought, I can't make this lie stick. So as soon as I walked in, I said to Sanji, have you told them? She said, no. I said, screw it. I'm just going to tell them it's from Birmingham. I'd rather get it out there, open, kulla. So I made it seem like I'd driven from Birmingham specially and I bought them this package.
Oh, I see. I see what you did there. So
yes.
You've put the twist. You use the strategy in a different way. Now you're going for the sympathy vote. Aha bibba putt. Birmingham jaake. Not obviously, they probably knew it was your mom's birthday. Sorry, dad's birthday. Mom's birthday?
Yeah, mum and dad's birthday. It was my mum's birthday, Sandra's dad's birthday.
Yeah.
One day
so
apart.
they probably knew it was your mom's birthday and that's really when you went down. But if they didn't know that fact, they'll aha bibba putt, utthe jaake, ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਸਮੋਸੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ.
Yes.
ਇਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਵਾਈ ਹੈ. ਵਾਹ.
Exactly what happened.
Wow.
That's it.
Right, so you did that. Okay, good.
So I did that. I got to Sandra's dad's, or my dad's, I should say, father-in-law's. Sat there, everyone's sitting down chilling. A couple of hours go by, and I'm thinking, no one's had a samosa yet. What's going on? Are you guys gonna?
Okay, but where are they? So you walked in. Have you walked in with your little ditchy or petty?
Walked in with the whole box, put it in the kitchen.
Where do you go? So you go. So they've seen you walk in with it. Everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
It's gone to the kitchen. You placed it with what other food items are there? Come on, set the scene.
So people have eaten already because I arrived about 3 o'clock. So they'd had lunch already, like saag, roti, etc.
Ooh. Okay, pause it. This is interesting now because I think we've debated this often in the past now. What is the place for samosa, spring roll, sholay, and that kind of
Starter,
snacky
innit?
food? Yeah, if you kind of had mains, but then are you going to have it after mains? Is that like a thing? Can you do
Well,
that?
I had to beg them to have it. Okay.
What I will say is, it's always samosa time. Have you found that? You can always eat samosa.
Of course
Doesn't
you
matter
can.
what it is. Bro, I'll be at hospital and nurses or other people doctors bring samosa, and I'm like, I've had lunch in it. Or you're on a special diet. But free samosa works on the ward. Yeah, man, I'm going to have samosa. Man.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
always
yam
feel
it,
like,
bro.
as a brown person, all the good are expecting you to eat it as well.
Of course it is.
Show us how to eat this.
Of course it is.
Right. And so, yeah, it's always samosa time. Fine. So nobody's had a samosa. And they are clearly thinking that this is like not premium crop samosa. That's what they're thinking. And they're full.
Well, they're thinking they don't really want to have it. Then I said I came from Birmingham. I brought it down for you lot to try out. And then one by one, they started falling. So the first person to fall was Suk, my brother-in-law. Got him to have the first samosa.
Your main ally, right?
Always my main ally. Always
Main
has my
ally.
back. He had it.
How much did you bribe him? What
Nothing.
did you promise him?
Bribed him nothing.
What
that's
did you
I
promise
said.
him? Did you promise him another spot on the podcast? Is that what you
No,
said?
all I said was, I said, Suk, I want you to try this samosa. He said, okay, fine.
Please.
Then
Please try
his
this samosa.
his son, 6-year-old son. No, how
Right.
old is he? I think he's 5. Yeah, 5 or
Hulk.
6.
Hmm.
5, 4, 3,
Three,
2, 1.
2,
He's
1.
5. 4 or 5. I'm gonna go with 5. I'm settling on 5. Okay.
Here you go.
He does not like spicy food at all, man. He can't stand it. He's a really sensitive eater.
He's
So
like,
he's eating the samosa, and at first he said, I want a samosa. And his dad said, it might be too cold off you. He said, no, I want one. Fine. Gave it to him. He bit it and he's eating it. And he's had a second bite, a third
watching
bite.
this.
a
So you're
fourth
watching his
bite.
face here. You're there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're there.
And he's eating it. And his dad's looking at him in shock, like, hang on. He's eating it. This is surprising. And he said to him, Zora, what do you think? What do you think of it? He said,
do you know
amazing.
do you know what this scene is?
What?
This scene is Meet the Parents, the first one. You're Greg, right? And you know when all his family are there and he's got the wrong Billy and it's not Mr. Jinx and all that kind of stuff, then they work out. This is that point where they're thinking, if something happens to Zora and he doesn't like it, everyone's going to be like, Indy, how could you do this to Zora?
It's your
How
ball,
could you give
Indy.
him this?
Fuck's sake.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Greg in this point. So, but he says,
He said, I really like it. It's amazing. It's so good. And I said, Zora, what would you give it? What would you give it? He said, I'd give it 5.
you got to quantify.
And I was like, okay, out of 5. And San shouts out, no, is that out of 10 or 5? He said, 5 out of 5. Right? He did two hands next to each other.
10.
Which makes 10.
Yeah,
That's it. So I'm
baby.
like, yes. The kid that won't eat roti or anything like that is now eating samoseh.
No, eating mere samosa. Say it.
Yes. My samoseh. Yes.
My samosa. मैं बनाई
That's
थी.
what I'm saying.
मैं चुकाई
Right?
सी. मैं बंदे ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਬਣਾਈ ਤੂੰ.
So then I said,
हाँ.
who else wants one? Then we started warming them up, putting them on the table, seeing who's going to take it first. My father-in-law reaches across the table.
And he's the man of the hour, isn't he? It's his birthday.
Man of the hour. On his birthday.
Right.
66th birthday, I think it is.
Okay.
Picks up the samosa,
Right.
takes a bite.
Right.
Biting into the samosa, and he said,
Indaveer,
it's very, very nice.
you done a good job.
Then he said,
Huh.
this is better than the ones in London. And I was like, yo,
This is the seal of approval.
better than
now.
Birmingham. Sorry,
This
better
is
than
the
London.
stamp.
What?
Stamp of egg, yeah.
Meanwhile, my wife, who loves to be a hater, said, it's not that good, right?
Let's examine this point. Is Sanj feeling, is Sanj the favorite within that group? Is that what it is?
She's the youngest. Of course she is. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. So, and you're the youngest in your family. So there's a challenge to that position now. Your dad has publicly said, look, basically, translation, Indy is the champ. Indy's my boy. Indy smashed things. Thank you, Indy, for the best birthday present in the world. That's basically what he's saying in not so many
You're welcome,
words.
Dad. You're welcome.
Right. Exactly. And Sanj is hearing
Got
this,
you, Dad.
and he's
I got
like-
you.
He's like, no. That's it. Tu good kitta tu. No way say tu
Thank
naughty kitta. Tu good kitta.
Boss, thank you
Good
so
boy.
much.
Good boy.
So Dad was happy, and he said, this is better than London samosa. And I said, right, sit done. Sealed. Whenever someone's coming from Birmingham, you're bringing me samosa down now from that set samosa shop. And I'll give a shout out to it now. It is, I'm just going to find the name of it, yeah? So
Yeah.
West Brom trying to get the name of it. It used to be called Didlong's, but it's not anymore.
CSK's favorite shop is...
What is it? Sagar. Here you go. Yeah. Sagar
Sagar.
Restaurant Sweet Centre. Off Tyne Street in West Brom.
I've heard of Sagar's. Yep. Okay.
Yep, in there, bro.
There you go.
In there. Actually, no, it's not Sagar. No. Got that wrong. Shit.
Naughty kitta tu yaar. Kinu shout out
More
diya na
naughty.
tu?
Where's the name of it, bro? No. Fuck. What's the name of it?
Bro, it's
Where
Google
is
Maps,
it, bro?
man. Do you know what it is? Google Maps to Dela.
I'm on maps right now.
Oh, you're on Maps?
Okay, hang on. West Brom Small Shop. Tyne Street.
Maybe they're not on Google Maps.
No, they were. I'm sure they were. Yeah, it was Sagar. Okay, fine. I'll take it back. Sagar Restaurant Sweet Centre. Otea. Okay.
Very good
Fantastic.
Punjabi there. But
Very, very good samosa. I was so happy with myself after my purchase. Very content. Life is made.
Let's just say one thing. Nasanj did tell me something which was alarming is probably a strong word. But look, we're in Samosa Gate, you might as well say it's alarming. Sweet corn in a samosa.
A couple pieces of sweet corn in the samosa.
Bro, aloo, matar, pastry.
It worked.
I'm gonna have to try it. I think we're gonna have to do. Right, what we'll do? You know the place I was gonna send you. I'll get some from there. You get some from your place. Sit on this table right here, and we will digest some samosa and do a mukbang.
Can we also talk about how much a samosa is in London?
We should definitely talk about that. But you happy to agree to a mukbang?
Of course I am.
Can we agree that there's no nice way to say that word?
There isn't. It just sounds dodgy, innit? It sounds like you're humping something. And it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Mukbang,
Right.
swap it for something else at the start. I'm not going to say what it is.
Needs to be. Yeah, and then you can't karde. Naughty karta tu.
No.
Right, so before we go into the price, how many did you get? Kittne samosa?
Oh, I think it was about 30 or 40.
Good, all right. So we're going to use that. That's the multiplier now. Tiga. When we do the next week on, then tell us.
I think my dad got it for about 23 or 25p a samosa in Birmingham.
So let's say 25p. 23p, is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's a very odd number, isn't it? Like, why would you have 25p? I think the lowest I've ever got a samosa for is 15p. In some places in Warsaw. I don't know if they still do 15p, but I know back in the day, 15p is samosa.
There must be tiers to it. Like the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Volume, right? So 25p
London
times 40.
Single samosa, £1 a samosa.
£1 4 times. Oh, bloody hell, man. So a pound, 40 samosa, paying 40 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you paid 10 quid versus 40 quid.
Boss. And it tasted better.
It's madness. It's
disgusting
madness,
what
man.
they're doing out there.
How can you get away with that shit, man? And then if you go to the worst level, obviously we'd never go there, but if you go to like Sainsbury's, supermarkets, and you get the little samosa, nicky samosa, little or the go like, oh, I got triangles, had a few triangles last night. Like, I was like, how much did you pay for that? Yeah, I got 4 of them for like £5. And I'm like,
they're like, bargain.
I'm like, bro, like, you're going to get much like 4 times the size of the samosa and then quarter of the cost, man. And you ain't getting any of that chutney as well. How did you take the chutney? Tell me.
I had the Tupperware. I told you this. It was in the Tupperware. It was all good.
Oh, yeah. You didn't have the goldfish bag.
Boss, that's it. I was very content. Very good. Very content. So, got 1-0 Birmingham. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look at where they started, bro. Look at where they started. You got samosa gated for eating too many samosa.
I did.
You hated on. And the people wanted
I became the samosa.
You became the samosa. But like I said to you, I think you played the long haul here. You set that up, right? This is the story of redemption.
Of course I did.
You humbled yourself. You made yourself to be the bad guy, the evil guy. And then you walked in. Like that noise that comes out, right?
That's it.
When you do the reel for this, add that noise, like that. And you said, here, my people, feed. Out of interest, how many of those 40 samosa did you eat?
I think I had about 6 or 7.
Bro,
What?
I don't know anyone's ever had 6 or 7 samosa ever.
No, I didn't have it in one sitting. I had it across the course of 2 days.
You took some home, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I had them first at mum dad's, gave a
Yep.
couple out, had 2 there, then I had 3 at dad's, and then I had actually no, that's not true. I had 3 at dad's and 2 the next day, so I had 7 across 3 days. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, fine. But individual sitting, I don't
Going
think
in
I've
an
ever-
individual sitting, I think I could
3.
smash 10 Samoseh easily.
No, I know you could. I'm not saying that. This isn't a food challenge. What I'm saying is, it's just like I don't know. I'm going to say common etiquette, but I don't think most people don't go beyond 3 man in one sitting. They think-
Most people aren't indie, you know.
No.
Who else comes to a podcast
I know
in
you
a
could eat
pink
10.
hoodie, you know?
Pink hoodie's nice. Pink is definitely a color, man.
Thank you.
10 samosa you could eat, but you've never done that in one sitting, have you? That's my point.
No, but I could easily do it.
Yeah. That's not the question, man. I'm not asking how many. I know you could eat a whole pizza as well. My point is, on an average day, how many samosa would you eat in one
All
sitting?
right,
The answer's
4.
probably 3 in it. 4.
4.
Okay, tig. Yeah, fine. I'd say 3 is probably the average, but you're above average when it comes to eating. So, right, here's a question then. So you versus Bal, samosa eating competition.
Oh, he'll beat
One
me
sitting.
easily.
Drink of choice, anything you want. Really? Wow, why is
Easily,
that
yeah.
easily? The
Because Bal's done food challenges like this before with his mates to prove a
Does
point.
he?
When you put down like pride into it, he'll beat me easily. I'm not that proud. I'm like, listen, I'm happy to stop at a point that I'm uncomfortable now. He will keep going just to
keep
get
going.
the win, get the dub. That's it.
Told you, mate.
By the way, I said this. I said W at work today, and people were looking at me like, "Does that mean worry?"
Win
They were like,
Win, yeah.
"Does that mean weaknesses?" I'm like, "No, win,
for the
win."
But what was it? What was the sentence?
I said, "Yeah, so we'll take that as a big W."
Wow,
what I said.
How can you not? Yeah, okay. Are these like much older people or much younger people or?
In my organization, yeah, I think a lot of the people I was talking to were the older demographic by about a good 10, 15 years.
I'll take that as a big worry. That's so brilliant. You should be, yeah, big worry here. I'm really not happy with the results here. What was the other one? Worry, and what was the other one?
I don't know. I can't remember.
But not win.
Big worry. Weakness.
That's it.
Yeah.
Should we take his big weakness, Indy? Yeah. Yes, you should. Yes, you should,
of
John.
course. Yes. Of course, Dave. Yeah. All right. Park that to one side, yeah? I got another very important question for you.
All right.
Me and Sanj had a bit of a sadistic conversation this week, but it
What was
wasn't inspired. Bit of a sadistic conversation this week.
I wanted to check that you actually used that word. Just define that word for some people that won't understand what that means.
Sadistic is kind of dark.
Yes.
Yeah. Dark
Now,
conversation.
I'm just going to give a little side note to your story here. You guys were here on the weekend. We had a little shindig
We
here,
were. Yes.
little party, and on this very bed behind us, towards the end of the evening, we all played Cards Against Humanity, which is a very good game. I learned one very good thing from Indy. He's got his finger up. Go.
If you're going to ruin the next segment by saying stuff from Cards Against Humanity, I'm going to have to pause you.
No, I'm not going to say the actual words. All I'm going to say is,
Very good.
having played with you and Sanj, have we played that game before together? It's the first time we've played
Yeah, we
together.
have. We played it on my 30th birthday in front of my mum when she was half asleep on the sofa, and you were all very uncomfortable
But it's been a
playing
while.
that card
It's been
in
a
front of my mum.
That's it. It's been a while. I remember that. Your mum was asleep though, so it was fine.
Yes,
Sook was giggling. He was hysterical.
he was.
Yes. I learned one really valuable thing from Indy, which is play the person, not the card.
Yes,
Some of the best advice you've ever given me, and it meant that I was champion at the end.
yes.
What I will say is, though, I was sitting right next to Sanj. Sanj's humor is very, 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 very dark.
Oh yeah.
But like exactly the type of humor I get. So yeah. Anyway, come back to your conversation that you two had then. Go.
So my bubby and brother are on holiday, and they messaged me saying,
Bobby
"Indy,
was on holiday. Okay, yeah.
what would be the song you would want to play at your funeral when you go?"
Oh. You know, I actually know the song I want to play, so I can tell you that. 'cause I've
Wow,
thought
you
about
thought about it. Shit, got
Bro,
it. Okay.
yeah, I've got the song. I've even thought about pre-recording a video that plays and then speaking. to all
Fucking
you
Tony
guys.
Stark over here. Yeah. Okay.
I am Iron Man, right? I am Iron Man, and I did think about things I want to, leave messages and wisdom I want to leave to the world, and special thank yous to special people, and shout out to the podcast. And that
If I
kind of
don't make that fucking list, there's gonna be this
I'm
entire
like-
YouTube channel
I'm
is
like-
being deleted.
ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੇਤਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਆ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕੀ ਨਾਂ ਸੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੁੱਛਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਫਿਰ But ਜਦੋਂ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਮੁੱਛ ਗਿਰ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਗੰਜਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ.
Exactly. That's all I have. Yeah, straight up. That's it.
So you will not be forgotten. But I know the song. Yeah, I have a song. I'll tell you what it is in a bit. Go. So you
No.
Wait,
tell me your song first, and I'll round out the story because my rounding out is killer. Go on.
Okay. Song is Cornfield Chase, Interstellar.
Oh fuck's sake, that's bait, man.
That's me, man.
That's me. Bait, man. No. I want you to go away, and I want you to think about this and give me a better answer next week.
No, that's nothing better.
No. That's too bait, man. Karan, that's been used on every TikTok, Instagram reel you can think of.
But that's not my issue. When I listen to it, it takes me different places. It's not because of that TikTok stuff. It's because what I think the song represents in my life. So there's deep meaning for me. I don't care what TikTok has done to it.
It's a problem. That's what I'm telling you. It's a problem.
Sorry, I just realized my WhatsApp's on my laptop. I'm just going to turn it off.
It's all right. You can crack on with that and delete that while I crack on with the story. Yeah. So, my brother and Bobby are starting to have that conversation. I'm busy doing something.
Why are they having that conversation, though? First, give us the context of that.
I don't know. They just have these conversations. You know how when you're on holiday, you have random thoughts and you discuss it as a couple? This was one of them. I mean, it's not
You just think you just ask your brother. Oh, yeah.
It's not uncommon. So they asked me in Sanj, well, tell me the song you'd have. I thought, I don't really know. I'll have to think about it. Bao said his, which is a hip-hop song. My bubby said something like Mariah Carey. I was like, okay. My wife, the MVP of the entire show, let me read you what she said.
Diljit, yeah? It's got to be Diljit song, right?
Gets better. Wait there.
Right.
So she said, it's going to be really sad with everyone sitting there crying and being upset about things. And there's one song that I would like this to start playing out.
She's going to want to make people happy and laughing. Oh, God.
I'm gonna play it to you now, yeah?
Joker vibes. I think Joker vibes are coming.
And you're not going to expect this at all, okay? So I'll be sitting there on stage. I'll be standing there doing my speech, solemn tears flowing, all this stuff.
So you're assuming she's going before you?
I'm assuming she is going before me, yes, in this instance, okay? You'll be at the back having the song on cue because you know what's coming, right? So I'm going to be sitting there and Sanj will be like, okay, it's been a hell of a ride, Sanj. Thank you. Love you lots. Yeah, but however, people, she wanted to go out on this, so I'm just going to honor her last wish. And then I'm going to have this. My fingers like this.
I'm going to do the special dance for this. You ready?
That's it.
Ready?
And the curtain closes. The curtain closes. That is going to make everybody burst out laughing, completely in tears of laughter, but also
joy, yeah.
Going in the most Sanj way possible. Then she also said she wanted a rail gaddi going around her coffin on the way out.
Oh my God.
She wants a rave for her funeral.
My God. I'm not sure I can arrange for that to happen, that last bit.
There you go.
People
so I've got to sync it up, yeah? Hit play.
Yeah, but next she'll be saying she wants to do like a set as well. Window cleaning.
Oh man, that's it. That's the conversations we have. For reference, my song, I've never thought about this. I need to really think. I'll leave a list of instructions for everyone to follow when I'm gone. That's it.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go.
You can ponder on it. So
thank you very much. Right, over to you, my bro.
Not sure I can beat that. So, when you're growing up and you're with the family, you're enjoying some TV time, might be a show or a film, and the inevitable happens, two people get intimate on screen, which for brown people, they just, exactly, they assume just hit the Hondaini. And you're like, well, where did we come from? They're like, Rabbi Mercy. You're like, yeah.
Pray really hard.
Rabbi Mercy, but there had to be something physically that actually happened as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, they conveniently forget that. And obviously you don't have this birds and bees conversation with your parents. And you get told, like, do the magically aa gaya. ek din tu si nahi, ek din tu aa gaya, divine conception,
Must.
right? So when you're growing up, we've all seen that skit from Goodness Gracious Me. This dal is fantastic. You just basically start chatting shit, right? You start looking at each other, you start looking into the corners, and you start doing remember the fake cough? Yeah. The weather's really nice today. Yeah, good. What I can't remember, and maybe I'll ask you this as some point here, when those scenes would come on, would somebody in your family mute it as well? So you couldn't hear the moaning?
No, it was just moaning. Wow, okay, that's another level.
Oh, like,
what were you watching?
I can't remember. The thing is, I can't remember that happening, but I'm just wondering if it's just like soft kissing, then it's not as
soft kissing's okay. It's
extreme.
when the kissing and the stripping of the kapara starts happening. You're like, whoa, okay. I'm sitting there, 11-year-old, like, oh.
Yeah, watching everyone. Like, when's the next scene gonna happen? Oh yeah. So I can't remember if moaning happened. I don't know if the volume went down or then someone muted.
No, I think they tend to dub over that with the music, don't they? Unless this is like a 12 a.m. film, sorry. And it's just showing on BBC One and there's something dodgy happening. Yeah, fine. Then it's a different story.
Right. So that's what it was, right? Growing up. Now, as you get older, so I never thought about this, but something happened very recently, which is funny. So dad loves watching films, right? So dad's having his roti. He's in the main living room. He's chilling, right? So I'm on roti duty. Do you know what roti duty is? What's roti?
No.
What's roti duty?
I don't know. What is roti duty?
Roti duty is some mum's in the back making roti, huh? And then you need the runner, right? With the little little plate.
Oh, that's roti. You're the
roti runner, right? Roti runner, right? So you get there and, dad will have his tray. It's on the table. He's got his ribena normally. Dal sabji, roti, watching TV, bang straight in front of him. So you come in and the roti runner roll is how many more roti? And we talked about this before because dad would always ask for like a half more roti.
Half, yeah.
Half doesn't exist. What do you want me to do with the rest? Anyway, that's a whole separate point. You can't have half roti. So, I'm coming in with the second roti, which I think is the final roti. And there is a scene on TV. So this is now a situation where I am older. Dad's obviously older than me. No one's young in the situation. We both know the score. But I'm like, oh, this is role reversal now. Now I'm looking at it getting awkward. And I'm just like, oh, Dad, yeah, you want any more roti? Yeah, okay, bye. So I'm just like, the funny thing is, I don't know if it's intentional or non-intentional from Dad. Because obviously when you're eating roti and you got to make the burki to get in the dal or whatever, you have to look at the food, right? It's not like you can't do that.
Can't mindlessly eat. You have to look.
It's dangerous, right? It's dangerous, right? Yeah, exactly. So he happens to be not looking at the screen when this scene is on. So he's looking at his roti. He's like this, right? So I'm looking at the screen now. I'm like, you're not looking at the screen. Is that because you know it's there and you don't look at it because I'm here? And I'm like, when you're young, or when we're a bit younger and this situation hasn't happened, you're like, oh, when I'm older, then, we will just normalize it and be fine with it, right? But I'm like, oh shit, we're in the situation here. And we're still awkward, man. We're like, yeah, it's just funny, man.
It doesn't get any better.
It doesn't. And you just, then you're thinking, okay, when I have kids, what's the approach?
I think for me, I've just learned like, okay, I'm just going to have to accept this for what it is. It's
but no, but
you just ride through it.
What does that acceptance look like for us? It's either going to be, we do exactly the same, where it's like, it happens, you say to kids, sex hai. This is the sex. Dekh la tu. Dekh liya hun? Edda hunda. Tusi edda aaye si. Main ta teri mummy.
That's it, boss.
Right?
And not ta mara. That's what I did, okay?
You're like, what the online chat kar di. Right? So you can go one or two ways in it. Like you either go, yeah, put the channel change kar de. Or you just call it out. Or you do the third thing, which is everyone just watch it and just smile
silence.
and nothing. And you'll be like, you don't want to make eye contact with anyone. And you're like, bada good scene chal raha the. Oh my God, it's so funny.
It's awkward because you're sitting there and you're thinking.
But here's a question.
Shit.
Here's a question. Let's get real now. Why is intimacy awkward in Asian culture, society?
So it stems from the parents, innit? Because back in their day, they didn't talk about stuff like that. They weren't open about it. So in films, from what they watched, it didn't depict it. Nowadays, films for the younger gen are pretty much showing that from like the age of 12, 15, 18 onwards. Think about it. If you're a parent and you're from the Indian era of the 70s and 80s, they didn't show that in films, from what I can recall. I could be completely
as
wrong.
in
If I am,
classic,
yeah,
the classic
if I
going in
am,
for the
please
kiss.
tell me. Yeah,
So you come. So here's the lady. I'm coming for the kiss, and then chain triangle angle.
that's it.
Right.
That's
that
what
was
would
the standard.
happen.
You're right. And then I'd probably say when I was in secondary school, there was one film which is kind of one. I told you about this film actually. Me and Sandra talking about it. Can't remember the name now, but Saif Ali Khan and Preeti Zinta, and they have a scene where you actually see him kissing.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, lips on lips. Whoa, this is big thing. And you're watching it. I mean, we remember watching it in the cinema, big screen. Everybody's watching it, man. Everyone's there. It's not like everyone's turning their heads. Everyone's watching it and saying, oh shit, this is really happening. We were here when this happened. That's what everyone's thinking, right? All right, so there's that. So that your angle there is about the normalization of it. It's not being
I think
normal.
there's been a lack of normalization with the parents, and then they've passed that into the next gen, and now we're trying to break that into our
Okay.
new kids.
That's fine. So that's then. I'm just saying, even before that, because everybody knows, like, bro, we went to Naples. We went to those walls. What did we see? Annie, our tour guide, was like, oh, they're cool. She was like, look at you guys. Todilia, Kama Sutra. Remember? She was telling us, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows about Kama Sutra. That's a very, like, synonymous thing with Indian culture. So India is famous. India has, India has massive population. What are we talking? More than 1 billion now? So obviously, they're doing this stuff all the time. Tata, all the time. Sahi gal hai? You agree? Right. Then it's in Kama Sutra, there's a whole kitab, like diagram bane hoye hain. This is how you do it, right? I don't think there's many other cultures that have like their own term and special position kitab for this. Agreed?
True.
So despite those two things that you're being told how to do it graphically, and there's evidence of you doing it by the population size, we still don't want to talk about it. Why? Where does that come from? Why is there shyness when it comes to talking about intimacy or watching intimacy? That's the question.
It must have been like stigmatized from someone early on saying this is bad gum, we shouldn't do it, and then it just spread. That's the only logic I can think behind it.
Bad gum. Everybody needs to do it. Everyone knows the procreation is right. Everybody wants to have babies. Everyone's happy when you see
Yes, but okay, all right. Here's the worry. The worry is if you allow people to just have sex wildly in that way by doing things in the Kama Sutra, they'll enjoy it more, which means they will therefore do it more as a leisurely thing. If you're just taught that sex is an awkward thing and you just do it in a few awkward positions, you're doing it to simply procreate, to have kids. So you're less inclined to do it in that way to enjoy the pleasure behind it. I could be chatting complete shit here. That's the closest thing I can think of that makes sense.
I can see a line of reasoning there. You're basically saying it's like a very early form of contraception, right? And reducing the risk of STDs. It's just saying, like you're saying, which I get it, but again, their population, man, they're still doing it, man. The horny people, man. Horny bande, man. Ki ho rahe hote? I don't know. Huh? But yeah, you're right. So now we're in the generation where it's like, okay, all right, let me ask you a question. When you got to like a certain age, anyone in your family ever talked to you like, okay, birds and the bees?
The birds and the bees. You know what? No one ever told me the story of the birds and the bees, so I don't actually know what it is, but I know the term birds and the bees.
Yeah, like exactly. I wasn't sat down. I'm like, lady hundi hai. Tu lady, tu banda.
So what I was told was nothing from my family. School taught me. School had sex
As
ed,
in friends?
and then that taught me. That's it.
No, friends telling you or like specific classes?
No, it was classes. I didn't listen to friends because a lot of people I knew were chatting shit.
The
I've
people
been
like
shagging bear,
Jay.
and I'm like, you're 14 years old, bro.
Jay in
you
it,
are
Jay.
clearly not.
It's always one Jay in it from the in-betweeners. There's always one guy chat shit in it.
Yeah. That's the kind of vibe I got. So I thought, okay. And Sex Day came along and kind of tells you things. You're thinking, okay. But until you do it for the first time, you don't fully get it. And you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. So yeah, you break that barrier. And obviously it teaches you about condoms and how to put one on and all that stuff. But again, it's all well and good using a prosthetic to kind of do it. But when you're actually doing it yourself, different story. So yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, okay, this is very... don't know where this is going now.
I don't know.
Anyway,
You're about to tell us about
it's true though, isn't it? It's true. You know?
True. Okay, fine.
Yeah, man, it's not normalized, but now I think we're normalizing it. Also, what did our parents expect moving to the UK? You weren't going to get exposed to the cultural values there where it's much more accepted.
Yeah, but the fact that it's much more accepted probably means it happens less. Whereas India is not accepting. They're just behind doors and putting key card there, man. in barns and things.
I remember I went to my cousins in America when I was a young teen, like 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
And they rented out My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
The film.
Yeah. And they were watching it with their parents. And anytime something remotely intimate happened, they had to skip through it. Half the film made no sense. Yeah, half the film made no sense. Because you kind of need that to understand what the context is and why there's a build-up towards certain things happening.
That's interesting, man. Like, imagine in the future, Indy, when we're parents, right? And the scene comes on TV. And let's say we don't fast forward it, we pause it. And we say, all right, kids. Oh, sorry.
No, let him just die in peace. Thank you so much for coughing into the microphone.
I turned it off.
Thank you.
Eventually.
Thank you for catching that.
Yeah. Imagine we pause it. And we say, kids, let's talk about this. This is what this is. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're seeing. This is what it means.
I don't think it's a good idea to pause it in between a film or something. Like, talk to them about it afterwards. Don't ruin the flow of the film. Okay?
I don't know, man. I don't think they'll enjoy the film if you don't pause it and address it there. If they're feeling awkward, like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, oh my God, what?
No, you have to tell them beforehand. Have that conversation before they start getting into those kind of things.
Film. I'm saying if you're with family. But yeah, I see what you're saying as well. It's if you know it's going to be in the film, but
yeah,
if you don't, I'm just like, you could just address it, call it out.
Well, you kind of know if it's a 15 upwards, you're going to see it.
Yeah, depending on the film.
So you may as well give a precursor then. But bro, I don't think that's going to be our concern with the rising popularity of YouTube, TikTok, just the internet in general. Kids are probably going to see this stuff way before we're aware.
That is true. That's true. So then I guess our role then is, if they already have had exposure, it's about contextualizing that exposure. So what does this mean? What do you think it means? What have you learned? And I think actually a lot of good wisdom that I've been given, this stuff, other stuff, is it's when something is contextualized, that question, but what does it mean? What is the value of what I'm being told? And so, like you said, some things you just need to experience it to actually understand wisdom.
Yeah.
Certain wisdom without experience has no value. You're just like, why? I think it's a good idea. Blah, blah, blah. So interesting. Again, I'm not sure how we got here, but very useful
topic.
Tangent.
Worth touching on,
very useful tangent. So the point I was trying to make is I need to be much more selective when I'm taking on roti duties.
Yeah, you need to time it perfectly.
I've abdicated it. Yeah. What I need to do is pop my head through the window. I'm like, Dad's watching football. Safety's on. Right.
What did your dad actually say about it? Did he comment at all, or did he just carry on yamming his roti?
No, it's fine. Just chilled, watching it. All good. All good.
Now that we're older, you can just sit and watch those scenes with the parents, and it means nothing.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to conceal from you. Your parents are probably looking at you like, how do you think you got here? Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. It's always a weird thing. I always think about, like when a father-in-law finds out that his daughter's pregnant and then shakes his son-in-law's hand. It's such a weird thing, man.
That's very weird.
It's so weird, isn't it? It's like you get congratulated. You're like, good, but do you know what I mean? But it's like, I know, but I'm happy because the baby on the way. It's such a weird dynamic. That's a weird dynamic, man. Like,
what about the other way, which is
go on? What's
the okay, how do I explain this? Yeah, the guy's dad finding out.
Yeah, with what?
That his wife is now pregnant.
Hey, the guy's dad.
Okay, so you just said
do.
Okay, so imagine your dad finds out that Shindy's pregnant. Yeah.
Right.
Does he just shake your hand and say congrats and that's it, and it's less awkward because it's not his daughter? Are you talking about the concept of it being awkward because it's a woman being impregnated, not the guy doing the impregnating?
No, as in the awkwardness or the funniness is not the funny. It's not even funny. That's the wrong word.
It's not even funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's the fact that it's that person's daughter, and he knows that you have done something to impregnate, but then he's congratulating you, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with the guy, no? Because I would have thought that that's awkward too. Because you're like, well, yeah, we've been doing activities in the
Oh,
bedroom.
you mean from the no? Let's talk Rishta makes it easier. You mean from the son-in-law's perspective? Do you think it's awkward to the father-in-law? Is that what you said?
Yeah. No, son-in-law to his own father.
Yeah. I can see
When
that.
he's telling his dad.
Yeah.
And then the
'cause then
daughter-in-law is sitting
then-
there pregnant.
Yeah. Because then he's like,
that again
he's-
is like, okay.
yeah. They're like, "Tu mere ghar ch kitta? Mere ghar ch kitta tha?" That's what I'm thinking. It's like that scene, you know, in Bad Boys 2,
Yeah.
when that guy comes up to pick up.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Hi,
He
Mr.
goes,
Burnett. My name's Marcus.
that scene.
How old are you? 15. Motherfucker,
Shit,
you
nigga,
look
you look
30.
30.
Get up against the wall. You
You ludicrous looking mother. You know that bit at the end they go, and he
trying to
whispers
get
and
my
he goes,
daughter high? You smoke that shit?
you know that
You
bit
a
at the end?
virgin? Good,
When he's-
because there ain't gonna be no fucking
Fucking
tonight.
tonight. That's it. It's that bit there when you
You ever
listen to
been
it,
up to a man? No. You want to?
You want
No,
to?
sir.
Marcus, Reggie, oh Reggie, baby. It's that last bit, man. When he whispers in his ear. Yeah, you're right. I don't know, guys. Just comment which one of those is. And again, it shouldn't be awkward either. Like it's like cushy time, isn't it? But it's just a funny. It's that you know what makes it funny or awkward. It's okay, stop using the word funny. What makes it like slightly awkward? It's the handshake. It's the well done.
It's the hanji.
that's what it- Good काम किया पुत्र तेरा काम चलता. Very good. That's what they're inadvertently saying, man. It's just
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. People, if you've been through that, confess in the comments, man. We're more than welcome to read them out on air if you're happy to share, and we'll happily tell you that. I've not been in that situation, so I cannot comment. So there you go.
Either, but there you go.
Right, next segment. Hanji Mitro. Who do I sound like? You, Karan, you.
That's
Hanji
really
Paji! I have a question.
That was really good, man. That actually sounded like me when I
Yes,
do it
it
on the
is.
story. So do it
Hanji
again.
Mitro.
No,
Hanji Mitro.
you're doing something else now. But do the initial one. That's really good.
Hanji Mitro.
That inflection's really good. Oh man, you just sit there and practice, don't you, all night?
No, I don't. I just analyze and edit all our content so I know the
That's a
stupid
good
things that me and you do.
Good point. That's fair enough. That sounds more normal. Good.
Yeah,
That's
thank
fine.
you. You have a question for me first.
I do. I've just changed the question I was going to ask you actually.
What?
So, yeah, there's something I've been wanting to ask you for a while, but we just haven't got to it. So now I'm going to ask
Here
you.
we go.
So, listeners, you will know that Sanj and I are very alike. Very, very, very alike. Very alike. She's the female version. I am the male version. Okay? But when your wife makes squash, oh, you know where I'm going. There is something that happens, which is, let's say, what we call an unnatural process. Some may consider it witchcraft. It's very natural. So, interview. Now, you know what Sanj does, but I don't want you to describe that because I will describe that. So, I'll ask you what you do. Because you do you do the opposite? Yes?
It's these bloody Southerners, mate. That's what I'm going to
Yeah.
say.
Good. You do the opposite though, yeah?
Of course I do.
Excellent, fine. So, interviewed, how does one, including yourself, make squash?
Well, first things first, you withdraw the glass out of the cupboard, number one. Number
what the
two,
glass? You
you
what?
withdraw the glass from the cupboard.
Okay, it's not bandook, man. Withdraw the glass. All right. You've withdrawn the glass now.
Number
right?
two,
Said glass is there.
you
Right.
get the squash bottle and
Right.
you pour
Let's
to a
pick one.
point.
Let's pick one. Pick one.
What do you mean?
Rabina? Robinson?
Oh, Robinson squash, orange.
All right. Side question. Sidebar, right? Give me the hierarchy of squashes.
Robinson's number one.
Yes, but Robinson's, you got summer fruits, double scent, single strand, black currant, orange pineapple,
No,
orange mango.
Robinson's orange or
Just on
Robinson's.
its own?
Yeah, or Robinson's blackcurrant. That's it.
They're the only two you like.
They're the only two. Anything
Double
else
single
that you
strand?
give me, I will look at you differently. I will judge you as a friend
Because?
because it just tastes horrible.
You feel like it's just extra fluff. Those are the original
Yes.
flavors.
Yeah.
And where does Ribena rank with those?
Beneath, it's too sweet.
Oh, interesting.
It's too
You're
sweet
a
because
you're a
because
squash.
because the squash that I get has no sugar in it.
Yeah, as Ribena,
all
you can get no
sweeteners.
sugar as well.
Yeah, but the Ribena sweetener version tastes disgusting. It's not nice. But the squash one tastes just like the normal one. They've refined the recipe perfectly, so I will happily have that.
All right, cool. So you're a squash man. So you've gone for Robinson's Orange single strength, double strength squash.
Should I pull it out the cupboard and do a demonstration right now?
Oh yes,
Right, wait there.
Here
mate,
we
wait
go,
there.
baby. Here we go. He's doing it. Here he is walking around, Mr. Pokemon. Right now, he's withdrawing the glass. The glass has been withdrawn.
Cup.
So glass, So he's got a good-sized IKEA cup here. Excellent. Now we've got the product. Let's see what that is. Show it to the camera. So Robinson's, is it single or double strength? I can't see from here.
It says family pack. No added sugar. Family pack. That's all it says.
Family pack. Did you buy this as family pack? Does it say you should not be
Of
sold?
course I buy the family pack.
Yes, lad. That's right.
Right,
Son of
here
CSK.
you go. Ready? That's what you do, okay?
This is how you pour squash.
Stop there.
Line is. All right.
That's
So
my line.
give people who are on Spotify, give them a kind of like a measurement here compared to a glass.
First things first.
Single,
go on
double?
YouTube and you'll see all of this in 4K.
Like,
because
Salio.
my camera's filming in 4K. So here you go.
Baby.
This is what it is. That is
Single
that
or double?
level. Good height. Huh?
Single double.
What do you mean single double?
Short, yeah. What's the measurement?
That looks like a double shot in it. Yeah, double shot.
All right, so you got double quantity. Now, again, side note: if you've gone to somebody's house, you've asked them, you give them the privilege, the honor, not even honor, the responsibility of making your squash. What would you rather have? One that's too strong or too weak?
Too strong all the time. You'd rather dilute it.
Have you actually done
would.
that though? Do you sit there and
Yes,
sip
I
it?
have. I'm like too strong. I need more pani. I've said that.
You just said that. Okay,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said that. Yeah,
I'm that guy though, ain't it? If you fuck it up, I'll tell you. Now watch. I'm gonna pour special pani. Wait there.
Oh, special pani coming all the way from Kera HQ. Here we go. Where is he going? Oh my God, Vasada pani. It's hara meet banda.
It's actually not Voss pani.
Lag
Would you like to know a little secret? And this is for the listeners.
That's it.
This bottle is from a hotel I stayed at on the night of my wedding.
Shangri-La, baby.
It's the bottle. And they gave it to us in the room, and I was like, take it with me, it's complimentary. That's it.
Yes,
So there you go. I filled this up because it's Tanda Pani, because it's in the fridge, isn't it?
Okay, pause. Thanda.
Tanda.
Thanda pani. Say it.
Tanda Pani.
Lovely.
There you go.
And that is how
A glass
99.9%
of
of the population makes squash. Have a sip. Tessa, make the noise. Yeah, baby.
Namaza.
Ina swada.
I'm going to put this back in the fridge. Carry on.
Yeah, fridge rakla. He's not going to the fridge. Oh, he's refilling it. Clever sausage. There we go. He's going to freeze it up. One sala winter hoi janda. Eh sala thanda pani pi janda. Very good.
Thank you.
Maza tenu?
Thank you, my brother. Yes. Very happy. Right here. I'm going to sip it during the podcast.
You should sip it. Right. So what's interesting as well is you've got the IKEA glass, which has got the blue tinge to it. So it gives a very interesting color to the squash.
Yes, it does. It does.
Like a
It makes
whole
it
new
a very
dynamic,
special.
isn't it? It does, doesn't it? So, in the video,
Doctor.
what does your wife do? What does she do?
I would like you to tell everyone
Hanji.
when you saw what she did.
Yeah. Parts of my body were
Violated.
revolting. There was an internal revolution happening. I couldn't
There was a revolt.
comprehend
What
what
I'd
I
seen.
was bearing witness to.
Yes. What am I
Okay.
seeing? That is the question.
I just, and I'll tell you what I said before I describe what she did.
Okay.
When it happened, I said to her, Sanj, Sanj, are you just drinking cordial, like straight? Remember, I was so confused. I was like, whoa, are you like, I know you like, Indy's taking your caffeine away. Is this some new sort of fix you're getting? Like, I don't understand what's happening here. So listeners, what Sanjeet does is she fills the glass with pani. And then she adds the squash in afterwards. Oh,
It's
what's
like,
she doing? It's like,
how
what are
do you
doing?
know what you're adding to the glass? How do you
don't
know?
know.
You can't
'Cause
see
the
it. You
colour-
can't even
colour
picture it. It's
changes.
just like, yeah, I'm just fucking dashing it in. You
Yeah,
may as well
colour
be
changes straight away.
blindfolded.
Yeah. It's not like a certain amount makes a certain color. The first drop gets in there, bang, color has changed. So, like, I mean, she's obviously got it down to a science, so she knows. But I was like, why wouldn't you do it the other way? It's like, I don't know if growing up, did you have many bubble baths?
Yes, I did.
Right. So how do you start? How do you run a bubble bath? Tell me. What's the steps?
You run the bar first,
Right.
and
Then?
you pour the sabun in.
The bubble bath, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Say you put the plug in, right? You put the plug in. First you put the thing on, garam pani, it's thanda, garam pani. Then you put the plug in. Then you get the first bit of pani filling the bottom. At that point, you put the bubble bath in, and then you'll get the bubbles. Now,
Yes.
if you fill the bath up to, like significant levels of pani, and then you add bubble bath in, it does nothing. This is exactly what Sanjay's doing. She's basically doing that. It doesn't work in the bubble bath. It doesn't work in the squash. So I have to be very careful now if I'm in your house accepting squash from Sanjay.
They're like, who poured this? Did Indy pour it?
Or
Or did you pour it?
Naughty na bano tusi. Dasso manu. Jhoot na boleo. Lie na karo.
Tell me facts.
Fact dasso. Fake news na dasso manu. Might have to stick to Diet Coke.
Ooh. Dangerous.
It's the only house in the world I drink Diet Coke happily. And for some reason, in your house, it tastes really nice. Everywhere else, I'm like, what is this gand? But your house...
It's canned. That's why. It's always canned. It's always in a cool, dry place. It's not in the fridge.
Eh? Katiranda?
Cupboard.
Interesting. It feels like it's fridge, though.
Yeah, because it's cold in the cupboard.
But colder than the fridge.
Yeah, it can be cold in the fridge, but the fridge is limited space. I can't just put 16 cans of Diet Coke in there. I buy a multi-pack, I leave it in the cupboard.
That's very true. Because you have to sacrifice for dud space. That's the problem.
Dud space.
You know the problem, right?
Yes.
Sanj needs a separate mini fridge.
Yes.
For dud.
For all of her
that would enhance your life.
Yes.
I think it would. Your next house, when you're asking them, ki chaida?
Mini fridge.
We could have a ਦੁੱਧ ਵਾਲਾ fridge ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ.
Yes,
ਦੁੱਧ
mini
ਰੱਖਣੇ
fridge.
ਇੱਕ ਮੱਝ ਵਾਲਾ space ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਤੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਵਾਲਾ fridge ਚਾਹੀਦਾ.
I remember I used to go to some Desi households and they would have a separate fridge for just dud. So it's not uncommon.
What? I was just joking. If you
No,
serious?
I'm being serious. I've been to some houses that have like a separate long fridge for just dud.
Okay, so we have a separate fridge in our house.
Yeah.
How many fridges you got in Kera HQ? Something?
Mum, dads, you've got 2 freezers and 1 fridge.
And so the fridge is like American
Right,
style.
our fridge and your fridge are literally identical. Sorry, their fridge and your fridge are identical.
The main fridge, yeah? The American style big
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Tika. Okay. So we use our secondary fridge mainly for dad's beers.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
all
Yeah.
our desi cooking.
Mhm.
So all sabjiyan, dal, sab kuch, smelly stuff all in there. And our main fridge is for basically everything else. And then
Yeah.
like you're right. We have 1, 2, 3 freezers.
See?
But a fridge just dedicated for Dodda man. That's an interesting.
Yes, it is.
Does
Interesting
Sanj know
dynamic.
about this? Does Sanj know this exists?
I don't want to tell her, but she's going
You should take her to these places. I think she would. But like this is like a pilgrimage for her. ਇੱਥੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਕਰਕੇ
Pilgrimage.
ਦੁੱਧ pilgrimage ਹੈ.
Oh man. Okay.
TV. Right. So yeah, mate. That was my question. And it's been
Impressive.
answered and
It's
I'm
very
still,
impressive.
in shock,
I've forgotten
so-
mine, mate. Give me one second.
Very good.
Because I've been so engrossed in the story. I'm blown away.
I love the fact that
Right.
you made squash live on air. I love it.
I do. I had to do it. It had to be
Had to
necessary.
do it. Had to
Right.
be done.
Number 1. Do you
Oh.
freeze bread? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Did not know. Well, it's not a no as in, oh my God, what are you doing? It's just, I've never heard of that concept before.
I hadn't either until I tried it at my mum's. And that's all they do. They freeze the bread now. And when they want it, they toast it and it comes out perfect.
So, sorry. You go to Asda, you get your loaf. It
Yeah.
comes home
Yeah.
and it goes in the freezer.
Yes.
How long have they been doing that for? When did they start experimenting on bread?
About a few years, I think. Yeah.
So it's not always been there. It's not you growing up then.
No. It's a few
So,
years
okay,
ago.
all right.
invention.
Your homework and for the
Find
next
out who
story.
taught mum that. Yeah, I will.
Reveal it on the story. That's interesting, man. Like, where do you make the jump? Like, there's no marketing. You never ever see bread in a freezer in it. So,
Mm.
and what about if they want to consume it straight away? Like, does that not defeat the point?
You just
I mean, I know
lightly
you said
toast
about the
it.
toaster.
Just lightly
like-
toast it.
No. Oh, okay. So even if you want a sandwich, it's just lightly toast.
Put it in
It
for
has to
like
be
a
toasted
one.
either way.
That's it. It will just take away the excess moisture on it. That way, your bread
Okay.
isn't going to turn moldy. It doesn't dry out necessarily because it's got excess moisture on the side of it. Win-win.
So is the reason for doing this preservation, longevity?
Yes,
Is that the
it's
reason?
preservation. Because it's just my parents at home now, right? If you buy a loaf, they're not going to finish it in a week, so they don't eat that much bread.
Oh, I see. So it's not okay. So from that point of view, there's a reason to do it. That's the main reason. Do you know though? I didn't know this till recently. When you go to the bread aisle, you can actually buy half loaves as well.
No.
It's a thing, man. So I was there and I was just like, I don't know, I was with Indy and she's looking at some very, very specific bread. She went through this phase where she wanted very specific bread, rye bread or something. And so, you got your Hovis, best of both, you got your Tiger, your Bloom, and I was like, oh my God, there's so many different types of bread, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, Nikki bread. And I was like, oh, cute, maybe bachile, I don't know, whatever. And I was like looking at it. I was like, no, it's just a half bread. Like, I'll give you the comparable. When you go to the Dud section, you got the big cheer
The half
bingy.
pint.
You got the Nikki little cute one, like the builders have. Like,
that one, the builder's one. Yeah.
Nikki. So you have the same bread. And I was just like, there you go. Didn't know it existed. So I think there have been times when we've all been in India and Dad's been here and he just gets like a little half loaf.
Wait, hang on. Is it half loaf in terms of exactly half of a loaf, or is it the same number of slices but half the size?
Oh, good question. Don't know.
I think if it's the one you're on about, which is half the size but the same number of slices, that is a half loaf technically. Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass to eat portions because you're like, well, I normally have 2 slices, so I've got to have 4 slices out of it to get the same amount. See what I mean? You have to do this weird mental mathematics in your head to make it match.
But okay, and so you're an advocate now for freezing bread, are you?
I'm not an advocate. I'm just saying, do you do it? I didn't realize that it was so uncommon, but apparently it is. People try it. Let us know how you get on. I'm about to save you money weekly on your shop, £2 a week, because that's how much bread's approaching right now.
Boris Johnson here.
See, there you go.
Boris Johnson. What did Boris say during the cost of living crisis? Well, if you upgrade your kettle and you can save a few quid, isn't it? Yeah,
is that what he said?
Yeah.
I've forgotten how much that plonker said, man. I'll lose track. Honestly.
It's all about the kettle, isn't it? Like, pani sara dunya mari jande. Oh, buy a new kettle. Oh, yeah. COVID, yeah. I'll pass it on to you, John. Come on, Rishi. Save us some money. Come on. Oh, it's too funny.
What a donkey, man. Honestly.
Oh my God. All right, but are you gonna try it? That's my question.
Yes, I will try it if I buy bread. We don't buy bread much. We buy brioche buns instead. That's good shit.
Brioche buns, Aldi.
Brioche buns are my guilty pleasure, man. I put in like chicken into that and have it. It's like a cheap burger. I'm like, yeah.
Orange packets in it.
Yes.
Orange and black marketing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orange
and the thing is, the bun it looks really premium as well.
Oh man, it tastes premium as well. Got it.
You're good. I mean, they have the same thing for hot dogs as well.
Interesting. I would have made that hand motion again, but yeah.
I know. I keep doing it, man. I don't know what it is. All right, I tell you, that you have the double, yeah? I've told you before.
Double?
Right. Hot dogs. How do Desi people say hot dogs? Ready?
Key.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
You want a hot dog? Hot dog, Hana? Hot dog.
Because they don't want to say hot dog.
Because they burger, hot dog.
They're not going to say garam kutta, are they?
A literal translation. Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Wait. Where did the double thing come from? Double.
What do you mean?
You said this to me on the podcast, and I can't remember where.
Oh, Tim Hortons. It means two cream, 2 sugar, 2 milk. Something like that. It means something.
There we go.
I'm saying you can have the double. Like, it's something they have on the menu. Double. You want a double?
That's it. There you go.
Hot dog.
Now you know. All right. Freezing bread. That's that one. And lastly, we've been not asked to do this, but I had a thought the other day. Let's just keep it a buck. Do you know what that means, Karan?
Say it again.
Keep it a buck. Do you know what that means?
Keep it real?
Keep it 100, basically.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
All
the way, 1, full, 100. Buck.
Okay.
Do you get it? Because 1 buck is 1, instead of keeping it like quarter, dime, whatever. They say buck. Or keep it all the way 100. Yeah?
Okay.
Thank you, I taught you something. Anyway, keeping it a buck, Karan.
Yeah.
Do you argue with your wife?
sorry, before we go into that question, that's a very deep question. The phrase you use is like just keeping it real. Is that or not that?
That's the American version of saying it. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
what they
Stop
say.
saying the Americans, but say it in English now. Keeping it real. Let's keep it
Yeah.
real. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Okay, take it. Do I argue with my wife? Is your question?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
How often do you argue with your wife?
Every day.
What does it tend to be about?
What does it tend to be about? We each have different priorities for said day. Overall, big priorities are obviously all the same, but day to day, I think sometimes what happens, not sometimes, what happens a lot of the time is you want to do something, and you think the other person, your partner, your wife, should give it the same importance as you're giving it. As in, for example, Shindy will say sometimes, "Oh, just because you've got time and space and energy to do this thing now, you expect me to have the same thing? Because it's a priority for you doesn't mean it's a priority for me." So we'll argue about that sometimes, but then I'll make her see like it really is priority and you need to do it. Because if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it. And I'm providing accountability. What she loves most is doing tasks together. She hates doing, obviously, work aside, she knows that if I'm there, then I'll make her do it and we get done efficiently. For example, food shopping.
Yeah.
Shindy is fine doing food shopping on her, but she knows if I go, then I got the scanner, the bags are optimized, they're going bang, 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 the deals, the car, parking, the trolley, stealing it from the Nyane. Like it's just all taken care of, man.
Stealing from Niani, I never forget
Stealing
that.
from Nyane,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That kid knows, man. Don't mess with Dr. Jazz, man.
Mm.
Side note. No, I'll tell you what's happening. That's fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
So what's a priority? I do a lot of pads, so we get into arguments about me padding and intentionally padding, and yeah, that's the source of arguments.
What about like bigger arguments? This is very like day-to-day stuff. Do you tend to have big blowouts quite often? Not quite often, just here and there.
Yeah, I can't remember. Last time we had a good. You're talking about arguments where it's like you either have a shouting match or you need to go and cool off.
Yes. Where you need to cool off after. Let's just call it that. Where you need to cool off after. Doesn't necessarily have to be a shouting match. It can get intense as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, people argue in different ways, right? And it takes a lot for me to get angry. Like angry. Like if someone's angry towards me, then still my approach is, including Shindy, what do you want to happen? Solution. It's all solution focused. It's like, okay, if it requires an apology, yeah, obviously, but it's like if it requires an apology, I apologize. Here's what I'm sorry for. Because they'll always say, well, what are you sorry for? Here's what I'm sorry for. If I don't know, tell me, what is it that's made you be upset? But if last time that I got angry, long time, man. Shindy gets scared if I get angry. Ooh. It's so funny. She'll say this thing like after you make up. She's like, I'm like, listen, you shout at me all the time, and that's fine. She goes, yeah, but it's not normal for you to shout at me. It's not like it when you shout at me. I was like, that's not fair, is it?
School teacher vibes there, man.
Yeah. So sorry to answer your question. Been a long time.
Okay. But it is normal, and people need to know that, right? Because we come on here and we take the piss here and there, but we do have like bickerings with our other part of the halves.
Don't call it bickering. Bickering again is a very small thing. If you're talking about a proper argument,
we do have arguments with our other
Punjabi
halves.
word for this? Jagada. Jagada hoya si. Jagada.
Jagada, okay.
Yeah, that means like fight.
Isn't it larai?
Larai is fine. Yeah, same word.
Larai is better, but okay.
Whatever you prefer. Yeah. Larai, sometimes the connotation with that is like
physical.
You're actually hitting each other in sticks and rolled. It's like physical. Because you can say larai is like what happened in the street, in the gully, like, with the kids. Larai hogi si. Whereas the jagada is more of argument. Jagada means argument, sorry. That's what it means.
Okay, fine.
That's the difference.
I was going to say galla larai then, but no.
No. Yeah, so all kind of jokes aside, and we have obviously confessions of married men and Brown Monday and all that kind of stuff. And there is funny stuff. But yeah, I saw Jay Shetty earlier this year. I was with Shindy, and he talked about how the research shows that the happiest couples, the ones that are survive the longest, live the longest, happiest longest, are the ones who know how to fight with each other properly. That was what the study showed. And so then the further bit to that was you was talking about how you need to know your fighting styles, right? And I think we touched upon this on the podcast.
We
when
have
spoke
already,
about
yeah.
Shitty. And there were 3 styles. I can't remember what they were, but one is kind of very emotional, shouty. One is go and think about it, cool off, and come back. And the other one is the solution like based approach, which is what most men do. But yeah, look, if you're not fighting or arguing or debating or bickering, so there's a scale to it. There's a scale to what we're saying is a spectrum. Then you don't really care. You're not really communicating on a deep enough level. Everything's just too superficial. The goal isn't to just, be highly agreeable about everything. Is what I would say. And you really need to know the opinions and thoughts of your partner on whatever it is you're discussing, right? So whether that's relationships, where we're going, finances, how the other person looks, whatever it might be, health, let's call it health, not the way the other person looks. These things are important. And you should have check-ins. I know you said you do it in the car, don't you? That's your kind of safe space sometimes, long drives. Yeah. That's natural one, or we tend to do it when we go for walks. Maybe dissect something. What do you think of this? What did you think happened here? What could we have done? And this is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? Now what I do more proactively as a married man is I'll have an idea for something. And rather than just, because I'm like Mr. Action Taker, execute, it's just that but just pre that step. It's like, Shin, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And just get that kind of feedback. Yeah, that's good. Agree. Or have you thought about this? No, let's have a discussion about this. Or yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe wait, and then do whatever you're going to do. That's really invaluable. And I think when you get to the point where you use or you feel that you can use your partner as a sounding board, is when you're at a good place in your relationship. I have some friends who they just did. I don't know. They just like let's talk about money, for example. Some of my friends were like, well, it's my job to make the money, male friends, and I don't involve the wife in any of those decisions. Whereas I'm like, our approach is joint approach. We talk about everything together, investing, finances, everything. This is a joint approach, right? You need to be on the same level. And for me, that's double power rather than, just running it alone. So yeah, you should be regularly soundboarding with your partner. So coming back to that interview, tell me the thing.
What's my what? Sorry.
What's your question?
Why?
What's context?
That's it. It's just a keeping it 100 topic. That's it.
No, do you have a story behind it? Did you have
No, nothing at all. No, it's just a genuine question.
Oh, a general question. Okay, so what's your opinion on
it? Yes, I do. Sometimes it tends to be over stuff that builds up over time, and then it will come out because we haven't really had time to sit down and talk to each other properly on like a deeper level for an extended period to let the problems out of the jar, I guess you could say.
That's good way to put it.
So you can just relieve the pressure a little bit in a healthy way, like a pressure cooker. You want to have it like just hiss a little bit to relieve some pressure, not fucking blow the top off. Yeah. Okay. You want to have it just a little bit over time, which is helpful. For us, it's more so similar to what you said, which is just because you're ready to do something, I'm not ready to do this. Or expecting a lot from the other person of what you want and not accepting or understanding what their expectations are in that moment or what they've got on or what they've got happening. And then you just make it about yourself. Most people would actually think it's about the podcast. Like, oh, I'm putting too much into this. I'm not giving her enough time. It's never that. It's normally something deeper at play that has gone unacknowledged or has not been listened to. So it's good to sort of have those conversations to open it up a little bit. And we do have like long arguments or blowouts, and that's normal because it's a good way to let the other person feel like they're properly being heard without trying to push it back on them. Sometimes you just have to literally put your hands up and just say, yeah, that was my fault, which as a guy, it's really fucking hard to do because we always want to be right, or we always feel like, no, it was this, it wasn't me, it was something else. Sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say, genuinely, drop the ball there, my fault, and just accept it.
There's another thing, which is not in just this relationship, but any relationship. It's about intention, right? So something can happen, but what was the intention behind me doing it? You know, was there malice in it? If there
So
wasn't
let's
malice,
say, for
Go on.
example, you
There we
tease me about not being able to speak in Punjabi at times, and some people are like, "There's malice behind the stuff you're saying." I can say it's not. It's a way of teaching me how it is, and I've noticed that my Punjabi is slowly improving. So
yeah.
I don't think it is meant in the way that you guys see it. How I take it is how I take it.
Some guys, some very few guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know that's an example of where there's no malice in it, but it could potentially come across in that way, and you've got to be aware of the relationship you have with that person to be able to sort of lean on that a little bit without it being misconstrued.
That's true. That's true. And obviously, as you know, as a podcast, whoever's making that comment doesn't know obviously what we have. I don't know. We can be real. What's the expression? The buck thing. What was it? How do you say it?
Key.
The buck.
Keep it a buck.
Yeah. So let's keep it a buck now. There was a point where you said to me off camera, off podcast, we said this bit about Punjabi, I didn't like it. I felt like
Yes.
it was an exam or something. And then, you know, we roundtabled it with the girls as well, the managers. And we said, all right, how about we do it like this? And then you were like, yeah, perfect. Because we know that content's good. We know people enjoy it.
That's it.
You like learning it. But there's a way of doing it. And it took that. And then look, that was a good point, right? So that could have been a big blowout, but you were like, this is how I feel. Now, one thing you need to know about India, he has no problem telling any of us how he feels. If anything, he tells us too much how he feels all the time, uninvited. But it's good. He finds it easy to share, which is good.
I find it easy to share with certain people.
Yeah.
Not everyone, certain
When you
people.
open that tap and it Indy tap. That's it.
It's an avalanche.
Yeah. Me and Sanjay just like, okay, that's nice. That's our approach. Like, that's like, listen, we need to get shit done. So if you could just go and cry in the corner and we can just carry on working. Oh, it's so funny, man. Our approaches are so similar.
Yeah.
But on a real, yeah. No, look, those things are important. Those check-in points. There's a point, guys, you wouldn't believe in this podcast where we went down to spend the weekend with Shindy with Indy and Sanj. And in the run up to the weekend, Indy said, "Oh, you know, I need to talk to you about something," and he just wouldn't let on what it was. He built up all the suspense. No, tell me. He's like, no, we save it. And then we're on the day doing fun things. He still won't tell me what it is. When we get back to a flat, and I'm just like, what is this guy, man? He's building suspense. That's the day I dropped the coffee on your top. You think it was by accident?
Was it that day? Oh
It was
man,
that day, yeah. It was accident.
interesting.
It's when we had those crappy donuts. Remember, paid bloody London prices, £6 for that donut. It was just a piece of shit. I remember.
Where? Get this here.
We'd come off the water taxi.
It was at Greenwich. It was at Greenwich. Yes.
It was one of the
I
stores on
remember
the
that.
outside, and we said,
Yes.
"Oh, that looks so good." And we got that donut. It was just shit, wasn't it?
It wasn't nice. No,
just a
you had a bad one.
Yeah, it was just plain bread. Should have been frozen bread. Frozen bread would have been better.
Nick, yeah.
Yeah. So guys. So going into this weekend, I was talking to Sanj on that day, and I was saying to him, I think Indy wants to get rid of me from the podcast. I think that's what this discussion is. And then he said some stuff, and then it's all good points. And you know, we're here where we are.
That's it.
So yeah. So even within friend circles, guys, sometimes you just need to be honest with the right intentions.
Yes.
And just be open, I guess, be open about those intentions. So what's important in these conversations is you give people context of why you're having this conversation. Otherwise, why are you having this conversation with me? Where's this coming from? That's the comeback, right? So there has to be context to it. Context is very important. But if you're husband and wife, then sometimes, you just get shouted at. He's like, hey, Mike, you get that?
It's normal. Just
It's normal.
find your balance that works for both of you and your communication styles. But that was it. That was just us keeping it honest with people, because everything on here is quite lighthearted and stuff. It's nice to talk about, but got to be honest as well with what goes on behind the scenes, which isn't always sunshine and rainbows and everyone's sitting there like, oh yeah, let's just have a nice day out. Everything's all perfect. No, bro. Some days are just normal life. Get up, spend time with your wife.
Perfection is not the goal, guys.
Chill.
Perfection encompasses the yin and the yang. That's what people need to understand. The perfect balance. That's the word. The word is balance. Everybody wants balance. You think you want to be happy all the time. Not achievable, number one. Not attainable, number two. And number three, it's never the goal, man. You can't sustain that shit.
Shit, oh yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, balance. Balance, Shayda. Balance has dukh and sukh in it. Okay.
Boom. All right, last bit. Acha Nyanio, you want to know what's happening, doctor? Let me tell you what's happening, doctor. What's happening is you can never, ever chat shit to me again about Crocs when you wear them yourself, as I saw this weekend just gone.
Can I just ask a question? When did I hate on you for wearing Crocs? I didn't know you wear Crocs. When did I hate on you for
No, I don't, but you stopped me. You and Sanj ganged up on me saying you cannot buy a pair of Crocs. And you said they're ugly, they're disgusting.
Where did we say this already?
You said this in a voice note a while ago.
Oh, cool. I can't remember. What I will say, what's the context of me wearing Crocs, sorry? Where do I wear
You
them?
wore Crocs on Saturday. I was at yours.
Where?
You wearing Crocs?
Where?
In the garden.
Right. Is it out in public?
Still wearing it.
No, it's not the same thing.
Don't care. Still wearing it. You physically own a pair. They're knockoffs, but you still own a pair.
They are knockoffs. And what I will say is when you have a garden the size we have and you frequently have to go in and out to do things, putting on proper shoes is very annoying. Having a slip-on pair like that is very functional. The only
You
use I
have a
in my
pair of
house-
slippers that you can just go out back and use.
No, slippers. No, see, in our house,
Not
are
slippers,
just-
sorry. You have flip-flops, the Lacoste ones.
which are now only for internal use. So I've been told off. So come
Well.
on, fights with your wife. There you go. So yeah, those are my designated garden. Or if I've put the bin out, those are shoes I use. So yeah,
You can
But
just
now-
never chat it to me again. That's it. You can't give me the
Dad-
big ones.
Dad keeps nicking them, so this is a problem now. He's got his own garden shoes, but now he wants to nick mine. So and then I ask him, Dad, do you want a pair? Do you want a pair? No.
If you
You
buy
want
him
my
a pair,
pair?
he'll
Yes.
use them. You know that, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Clutter. Well. This is what's happening with me. So I've been watching some minimalism documentaries.
Hoi hoi.
There's two guys called the Minimalists, which I was really into a couple of years ago, and then forgot about them. And then recently, I don't know what triggered my mind to watch them again. And yeah, man, I've been getting rid of stuff. It feels really good.
Elaborate.
Really good. So, for example, we just rejigging some of the stuff in the wardrobe, and I was looking at some stuff. I was like, I'm never going to wear these t-shirts. You know which t-shirts I wear, man. It's like I have colored t-shirts. That's all the t-shirts I wear. Then I have super, super smart stuff, but I have loads of that now. I don't need any more to add to that. I got my 2 white shirts, like I told you, 2 or 3 white shirts. Got loads of ties, don't need to add to that anymore. Like everything I need kapde-wise, apart from hoodies, which I didn't have, which I have now. I was like, I don't need this stuff, man. I'm going to use that. I think you use the principle anyway. You have one and you get rid of one principle.
Yeah.
Which is a good principle, but I still think at the moment there's too much stuff. So I'm actively, they have this thing like get rid of one thing per day kind of challenge. And recently I got rid of some shoes, so that was good.
Ooh. Are you donating? Are you selling? What are you doing?
Yeah. Shindy's going to be doing it as well, but she wants to sell, I think, vinted.com or something like that. I think we talked about that before as well.
Yeah, we have.
But for me, that process is too long. It's like I want it out of the house. I want it in a charity bin. Done. Gone. I can't have it sitting around. I'm really
Sometimes in those charity bins, it doesn't necessarily end up there. It can end up in a landfill as well. So
you don't have to tell me that. Why are you telling
I'm
me?
telling you the truth.
Just don't. Fine.
Being honest.
I'll be a bit more careful if I can be. Maybe give it to a charity shop. Maybe, I don't know, rather than these drop sites. Funny story on that actually. We had a really big kind of spring clean. Had a skip a couple of weeks ago. I think I told you about that. And Kenny was over, and the car was full of like 10 bags of kapde. Loads of kapde. I said, Ken, right? It's like 9-10 o'clock at night. I said, well, let's just go to Co-op because they've got the bins there. So we pull up, reverse into the spot, pop the boot, and me and Kenny are just like pushing these bags through. And Kenny, Kenny's strong, man. He's forcing it through. But I was like, if you're watching this, you're thinking this is like some
dead body.
Yeah, or like, like money drops, like a dead drop site or something. Where it's like, oh, it's supposed to be something else, but you just like bags and bags and bags of cash or something and going
Continually. Yeah.
I was like, you must think this is like dodgy, man. But yeah, so at the moment, just feeling super, super intentional about the stuff I bring into my life, physical stuff wise. And you know, I love tech, which is fine, and optimizing is fine. And I think if you do buy stuff, then keep it for long periods of time, whatever that thing is. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Minimalism.
Check you out, man. Growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I still think you should sell it, and then the proceeds you sell, you can reinvest back into the pod. Just being honest.
I have no issue with that. I just don't logistically like it. If someone would take that bit, I can get stuff which needs to be sold, and someone does to take the photo, the doing, the posting. Fine, happy.
If you say to someone right now, I'll give you a 50-50 split, they'll do it.
Indy, I'll give you 50-50 split.
I ain't got time. You think I got time for that? I ain't got time to wipe my ass nowadays.
Off. All right, I'll give you 100%, and you reinvest it back in the podcast.
No, because that's still 50-50 because you benefit from that.
You think I'm dumb? He's sitting there, he's like, 100%.
No, I sat there and I was like, hold on. You said reinvest it back into the podcast, not your costs, the podcast. Funny that.
Good, isn't it? I'll find someone.
Sly bunda. If you find a kid, they'll do it happily.
There you go. Fine, I'll find someone.
Someone in school, they'll do it for you, man. eBay, one time, easy life.
So yeah, that's good. I think it's a good way of life. I think people should look into it.
It's a good way to sort of learn the basics of buying and selling, like getting an eBay account and just flipping stuff. You understand negotiations, people are giving you bids, like, yeah, it's good.
From that point of view, yes. But the other bigger point, live intentionally. Frugality should be part of your life. Less is more. Always. Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Don't
tell a kid that. They ain't going to get that.
No, not the kid.
All they've known up until that point is stuff their parents have bought them.
Yeah.
Got to have a few years to yourself to figure out you're overbuying and then pull back a bit.
Yeah. That's how most of us work it out. And then you move house and you just realize how much shit's in your house. You're like, oh my God.
It's true because I still got suits in my mum's from banking days that I need to give away. Like shirts, a lot of shirts and ties that I'm probably never going to wear again. That could be given away. I don't think anyone buys secondhand work kapre.
Probably is someone.
They might buy a tie. I wouldn't see them buying like a shirt or something.
Owned by Indy from the Indian Doctor podcast.
I don't think that will ever be a thing either.
Yeah, maybe. I think when you get to a level, or when we get to a level, maybe like one of your signed pair of jutte, maybe.
Signed pair of what?
Juttiyan, shoes.
You think I'm selling my trainers?
Oh, mate, when the offer's on the table, we'll see what you sell and sell. Give £1 million right now for your pair of shoes, you can sell them. Of course you can
Depends
sell them.
on what they are.
No, it does not. £1 million you're saying no to?
Depends on what they are.
That Kobe picture behind you, £1 million, you're saying no right now? That's not dependent on what it is. I'm asking you now.
I think about it, I think twice.
You're chat shit, bro.
I would. It was a present from a very close friend.
Sanj, when you listen to this, I'm offering you, your family, you two, £1 million for that photo, and this man wants to think about it. All right, okay, there you go. Fine.
Well, think about it. What I'm trying to do is get you to squeeze up your offer by saying, "I'll think about it."
All right,
man.
All right.
If you want it that bad, you'll go higher.
If you're willing to give $1 million, then it's $2 million.
Exactly. What's the difference?
That's it. Ki farak hai, extra zero. Bas. What else?
See that NLP there? Okay.
Shout out to Arjun. 2 Arjuns actually. One Arjun that met me in Aldi. We were in the bread aisle, going back to bread. This theme of this episode, man, bread. And Arjun was getting something, and I was with Chindi, and he just turned to me and he says, "Oh, you're doctor?" I was like, "Yeah." And we had a really, really nice conversation. And really cool guy. He messaged us, he DM'd us, and we took a photo together. And that was nice.
Good.
And then the other Arjun, who sent us a message today, Indy, which we read, which is about how much he enjoyed the key segment we did. The thing that was really funny was,
key
again, like we talked about how when you're getting langar. And
Kheer. Oh, okay.
Kheer,
I thought you meant jabbi. Okay.
No, not kheer. Kheer, yeah. And how much joy that brought him. And I was like, that's brilliant. It brought a smile to my face as well. And then shout out to who else, man? Shout out to, was that the GP surgery today? Got recognized by the GP. I feel like I've seen you somewhere. I feel like I've seen you somewhere. She goes, yeah. And you know what? The GP lady, she was like, young person, she was like, yeah, you do with that guy, the beard. I was like, yeah, Indy. So Indy, she knows you, mate.
Thanks.
Met someone recently, Indy, who is a software engineer who started looking at our podcast. Like we were in this like group thing, and he was like, "Oh, I used to work with Ricardo Williams." And I was like, "Yeah, he's been on a podcast."
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, do you know Indy?" And he's like, "No," but because apparently Rick's been through a few places.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, there you go.
There we go.
So some mad recognition recently.
I'd like to give you a shout out.
You what?
For not mentioning anything wedding related this week.
You know what? If you look at the
Well
list,
done, my brother.
There was
Well
I have a
done.
question. Look at the question below the squash.
I don't want to. I'd like to live in ignorance, pure ignorance.
I have a wedding coming up next month.
Fuck's sake.
I'm just gonna put it out there. It's the last wedding of the season. It's gonna be a good wedding. I gotta talk about it, man. Like, what do you want? Do you not want content? I mean, that's my question. Do you not want content, Indy? Do you not want content?
People, if you made it this far, can you comment below and tell us if you're tired of the wedding stuff? Because I kind of am. But Karan loves it, so I will entertain
If you
it.
would like to volunteer to attend the weddings for me, you can have those clothes I was going to give away as well. If you attend the weddings, I will give you these
Me?
couple here and things. No. Whoever's listening. I'm saying if I can volunteer to attend the weddings on my behalf, representation by proxy, then you can have these things I want to throw away. So,
Perfect. It's a good deal.
solution. Take.
Snap his hand
Okay.
off people.
All right.
Catch you next week. Bye. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the rest of our episodes here and don't forget to subscribe here. We'll see you guys on the next one.